Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we have a very big bracelet. If I remember right, this is like 20 strings, and it actually took quite a while. Honestly, actually, I know how long it took. Um, in just terms of the video itself, it took 2 hours and 24 minutes, so it's like almost 2.5 hours. Um, but that's not including, you know, stopping to have a drink or to talk to my friends over on the members part of the YouTube, which were actually watching me do this now, which is crazy, right? Inception stuffs. But that said, this um is not a bad pattern. I mean, it it felt like it was taking forever. It did. However, um there's only a few times that you actually use the knots that zigzag, the ones that go to the right and then the left. That's kind of seldom, um, which kind of made it nice. There is a bit of niceness about how, um, well, you'll see, like, I do it pretty consistently in chunks of like areas and stuff. So there is a lot of segment knotting going on, and um, just elements of it that kind of made it a little bit easy. That said, it's just a much bigger bracelet. It's a nice size, if you're trying to go. I guess I was gonna say manly, but I know that there's a lot of girls that like chunky stuff as well, so that really doesn't jive anymore. But it's got that nice chunkiness to it. Mind you, I doubled up the string, so if you were to go with a single strand, um, it would be a very different thing. This would be a much smaller bracelet. It'd be smaller than this one that I'm wearing. So, because that's 24 and this is only 20. Um, Not a beginner's bracelet at all, but intermediate, absolutely. Absolutely. I would actually recommend this for anybody who's, at least got the gist of the intermediate stuff down. See, like the green one had to bounce back, right? Um, I I guess I kind of stayed a little bit focused to the pattern itself, but not overly so. Not like one of those ones where each time I had to look and see every single knot. Like there are patterns where I do that, right? This was not one of those. This one sort of like, oh, these whites come down. Okay, then the dark one comes in, and you know, there was, knowing that this green comes all the way down. Um, it was simple enough that I spent the entire time making it watching. Well, in this kit time, I was watching Disney Plus. I had a lot of fun there. Um, so yeah, if you guys end up becoming members, warning, that episode there was a lot of spoilers because I was like, oh my gosh, and then this happened, and yeah, I apologize to anybody who I ruined the series for. I'm not going to tell you what it was because, yeah, I mean, you got to be a member to see that stuff. If you're curious, you got to go over there. Um, yeah. Um, so yeah, so because this was so long, I've sped this up a lot to try to make it um like what, it's 7 times the normal speed to make this down to like a 20-minute video. Is it around 20? I have no idea. Yeah, I guess give or take a little bit more than 20, I guess. I don't know. But I didn't want it to be, you know, 30 minutes or more because that easily could have happened if we went with the regular speed. Um, but yeah. Yeah, there was little parts like that. Like little the dark one had to come out and then bounce back one further out. And it was little things like that that you have to watch for when you're making this. That would be the one place where you could potentially have a something go wrong. But the pattern's laid out pretty simple. I really honestly don't think there's anything in there that's like a got you kind of thing. So, yeah. So there's only three times that this design happens. This first one, um, which is sort of cool because um, you got the first one happens and it goes into something else. Then the middle one happens and you're like, cool, I'm already at the middle. And then you do the other thing and then boom, you're done. So as far as repetition goes, a little bit, but not overly crazy. Um, it's just a big old bracelet. That's all there is. Um, I like this thing. I think this is probably a lot to do with what drew me to it. It kind of looks like is it the something of arms, coat of arms? Is that right? Where people have like their family whatever, and then they have like the keys that cross over each other. This thing kind of like, remember the other one was antlers. This one kind of reminds me. It looks more like the little skeleton keys, and I don't know. I just kind of like that part. It does also because we went. I don't, obviously. Well, does it look better on this camera than the other? It's neon green, a dark blue, and a white. And I think it just looks like alien text, kind of. I don't know what alien text would look like, but I would imagine like it could be this. It could totally be this because this is totally different. It'd be weird to find out like that these actually look like characters in somebody else's language because that could be a thing too, right? Because I only know English, so I don't know what languages these kind of things could look like. It could be like Russian or you know Japanese or something. I don't know. Um, that would be a really neat thing to explore, like trying to actually incorporate shapes from other letters. That might be a thing I try. I should kind of write these things down. I never do though, do I? Oh man. Hey, need some tasty beverage. Yeah, I definitely like this one. Um, I don't imagine that there was other color combination. Well, I think any of the fluorescents would have really gone well. I could have done this with the bright super pinks or the purples or the other ones. That would have been fun too. And I think if I was going to do it, okay, so this had a green with a dark blue. I think if I was going to do it with, oh, there was a mistake. Did you see that? Oops. Um, if I was going to do it with like a bright pink, then I would use like a dark red to go with it. Or if I use the purple, um, maybe go with the dark blue again. Yeah, because the purple, the fluorescent purple is sort of dark on its own, so I couldn't like out darken it with the regular purple one. So yeah, maybe I would go with the blue again, or yeah, I wouldn't want to go like try to go all contrast and try to do a yellow with the purple. I don't think. Could it, yeah, you could, but then what do you do for the where the white is? Do a gray? That would that would kind of pop. That would be all right, I guess. Yeah. Just trying to give you guys ideas in case you guys want to do this. Um, you know. Oh, and the kumi on this. This is I don't know if you can it's hard for it to focus there. The kumi on this is outstanding. Mandy really did an amazing job on this one. Um, it really feels like it belongs on this bracelet. So if you can't really see it here in the video, or well, you should be able to. I'm gonna say you should see it at the reveal, but I'm afraid maybe to my thumb on it or not. I don't remember. Um, but you can always go check it out. I published the photos over on my website. I was gonna say over on Instagram, but I think I have it like curled up like this, over on Instagram. So yeah, go check it over on akaawol.com, which is my website. It'll be in the tutorial area, and it will be under the my take on 90149. Did I mention that earlier on? Oh man, this is way late in the video for me to be telling you what the pattern number is. I am sorry if I didn't do that earlier. Yikes. Just having one of those kind of days today, man. Wow. Um, there's not a lot I can really say about this. It's, you know, I have to say that having it balanced where, the what I want to have is actually being centered, works out perfectly. I don't, okay, I imagine I talked about it in the pattern making part last week about how there was a reason why I went with what's in the middle. And I guess we can talk about that because we have time again today. And so if you didn't see that, the diamond shaped one is in the center. So that way the diamond shaped ones would be at the ends. Because if I had done it with the key shaped thing in the center and then the key shaped things were on the ends, we would have had to have changed how the bracelet started. Now, obviously, we can do that, and maybe we could do that in the future to show it. It would have been the teardrop kind, where the loop comes out and then it comes in a V on the inside, as opposed to going out towards the outside. Still viable, but I mean, I would have to figure out the lengths and everything else to change up my template to do that. And again, we can do this. If this is something you guys are interested in, let me know. We can even redo this pattern to go that way. But yeah, because I was working with a template that comes to the diamond shape at the top, we basically based the whole thing off of this instead. And I'm not sure if this is the one that I made it a little bit longer. Because I know that, yeah, this is the one. I know I thought it was the other one, but it's this one. I'm comparing it with another bracelet here. So this is the one that was a little bit longer, because I wanted to make sure I fit in a little bit more. So, and that worked out fine. I did not do anything with the strings to try to change their directions or do anything to try to save one over another. I went whenever the knots could go straight, I went straight with it. Any times that it had to bounce, obviously I did that. So it's a little bit longer. Let me see. Yeah, so there's a very little gap back here between where the tassels and the loop is. And the reason why I tend to go a little bit smaller is in case somebody like a gal with a smaller wrist than mine. I don't have a very big wrist, but there are a lot of people whose wrists are smaller than mine. And I try to make it so that way it could fit just about anybody. Um, yeah, and unless somebody specifically says, hey, I've got a really big wrist, can you make it a little bit longer? Which I'll totally do for them. Um, I do try to make it all encompassing, like anybody can wear. So that's a thing. Oh, wait. I don't believe I missed it. We are past the halfway point, guys. The ends come abruptly. I need to thank my Patreon supporters for making this stuff possible. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot to me because obviously it's what kept me motivated in the times where I just wasn't sure if I was going to even do the channel. So thank you very much. You guys kept me on course. You guys helped me get a bunch of string and cool cameras and stuff like that. So yeah, I appreciate it. And thank you to um, the members of the YouTube channel. I don't actually have any at the moment, but I suspect maybe by like the time these videos come out, maybe that changes. Um, when we get to that point, um, obviously there'll be a little bit of a gap between how long it takes between actually signing up and then having your name on the screen. But I will come up with some kind of method for doing that. And that reminds me, I need to make a thing for that too. I have a lot of work ahead of me. I am a very busy man, apparently. Um, but yeah, I do like the idea that we have a members thing now, which is nice. Um, I'd always wanted for the Patreon people to be able to see the videos early because obviously I make them a bit early, just that way I have them for each day and that way I can take a day off and stuff. Um, Except for it didn't work out very well for a few reasons. One, watch hours didn't count. Two, I had to keep changing the schedule stuff. I had to go in there physically do it each day, and because I don't get up at a set time and whatever, it was a mess. It didn't work out. I tried. This new system though allows it to where the members can go and see anything that's already created, no matter how far in advance I have worked it out. So that's kind of the bonus. That's the big difference. Um, I still share different things with the Patreon people. I have hangouts with the Patreon people, um, that I don't actually have that with the members. Um, so it's really up to you. However you want to support the channel, that's fine. Even if it's just watching the videos, surprisingly, that does help me. So thank you for even just being here. I do really appreciate it. Uh, Man, the I need to take an antihistamine. There is something in the air. The lawn mowing that they did today, the thunderstorms, the whatever it is, it has got my nose is just itching so bad. I'm dying. I would go take something after this is done. Yeah, so this is the second one of the key things. We just go into the last little diamond thing next. Um, so that's pretty awesome. Yeah. But yeah, I do really like this bracelet a lot. It's it's really pretty. And if you guys make it, if you especially if you do it in different colors, I would like to see it. So either share it with me through Instagram or um, Discord. I almost forgot the word for Discord. Oh my god. Um, because then I can see what you guys came up with because I'm always curious about that stuff. I love that stuff, honestly. You know, I look for it daily. I get excited when I see people trying out things that I've done and working these things out, you know. So yeah. What else? Oh, if you haven't already, hit like on the video for me, would you? It really does help out. I don't know how exactly that works, but somehow YouTube sees that you hit like and says, "Ooh, well, that's nice, isn't it?" Well, I'll show that to some more people, and then, it helps. It just, it's an awesome thing. Um, I don't think it affects anything to do with your channel or like what YouTube presents to you. So it's just one of those little nice gestures that you can do that sort of helps me out a lot. So I really appreciate that. Um, yeah, this is really coming to the end. So yeah, when there'll be the whole big reveal-y part and all that kind of good stuff. Um, yeah. And oh, hopefully in this video you can see kind of how I broke down the whole segmenting to it. and how I tried to be as efficient as possible, as always. I mean, that's kind of my thing. You can see like, oh, I left the last row to come all in, so like all at once. So you can kind of see like how it's ending there. There's still one white row that comes in over the top of it. Again, it's all thought out, like how to make this as awesome as possible. So yeah. Yeah. So maybe you have to watch the video a couple times just to get the gist and how all the knots go, but that's okay. Don't mind. So yeah. And the other dark one comes in, and then it's just two white rows, guys. This has been fun. Hopefully you enjoy the video. I mean, I make it in hopes of being entertaining and being informative and all that kind of good stuff. So hopefully I've given you that today. And yeah, I I just want to say, don't get your strings in a bunch.